Well, we're at the Franschhoek Literary Festival 2026, and Fehmz, who is a social media superstar turned author, is here at the festival, and we're just about to talk to her about her wonderful book, Damn Good Food. Lovely to have you at the festival. Are you having a good time?
Thank you so much. It's actually my first time, so I'm having like the most, it's like out of body experience. Is this what happens at festivals? Is this what happens with authors? It's like seeing a whole new world.
It's a lovely festival in the sense that it very much is an author's festival.
Yes.
You get to see other authors. Obviously, all the publishers are here, including Jonathan Ball. And more importantly, the people who come to your sessions buy books and ask them to be signed.
Yes, but also they're very interested in the story about the book, and it's a bit of everything. So it's kind of me seeing people who have done books and go, oh, those are the people, you know.
Let's talk about the story about the book.
Yeah.
You when did you discover passion for cooking?
I think a lot of times people, as soon as you see an Indian person, you know how it goes. We basically born with a chili in our mouth, right? My mommy was very much somebody who used to do stuff by hand. And when my parents went through hard times, my mom used to help my dad earn money by making samosas. She was like the samosa auntie. And I think a lot of that because she took us into the kitchen with her and she went, these are the things you must know by hand because you never know where life is going to take you. And one of the things you're always able to do is feed your family with as little or as much as you have. And I think she always went, it doesn't matter whether you love it or hate it, but you do need to know how to cook.
Yeah.
And weirdly, like for many, or our family specifically, you cried around the table, you laughed around the table, you got shouted at around the table, but the food was always there. The supper was there whether you messed up or you didn't mess up, whether you made them proud.
Where on the spectrum are you? Do you love it or do you hate it?
I had, originally I think I had a love-hate relationship with it, but the more my mother gave me freedom, the more I loved it. But getting married and having my own kitchen, that was the moment.
Yeah.
Because I just started having fun and I would just play around and try different things.
And social media, when did that sort of become a thing where you thought, you know what, I'm going to put a cell phone camera in front of me while I put something together?
Totally mad. I think I was on social media for a long time, especially Instagram. I started in like 2012. We don't speak of those years. But for a long time, it was very much like, if you remember the beginning of Instagram, it was very much just a static visual, don't know how the algorithm works kind of situation. Video changed. It changed my life because, as you can see, I got verbal diarrhea, so I obviously like to talk more. And I loved showing the process. And initially, when Instagram and all these things, so I didn't understand YouTube, but like TikTok and Instagram was very much, I used to take a video of my stuff and then voice over.
Yeah.
But I realized I really didn't like doing voiceovers. And as those kind of videos popped up, one day I took my camera and I thought, you know what? I just want people to feel like they're in the kitchen with me and they're cooking with me. And that was the day I just went, you know what, I'm going to put the camera there and see what happens.
Yeah.
And from that day, I haven't stopped. It's been the best. I feel like it's been the best expression of how I can bring people in the kitchen with me, but also show my personality, and it can just be like, it's so me. I love it.
And I imagine you're creating a community, right, of people who are wondering when the next video is going to come out, who are probably going to be messaging you to say, oh, I tried that dish and it was amazing.
Listen, that's actually the best messages you can receive. When you initially do it, you don't realize you're developing the community. I think you just put it there, and I always go, I just think there's one person behind. There's one person who's looking in the screen. If there's one person, it's enough to feel like I cooked with you. Not realizing that sometimes it's 10,000 one persons who feel like you're in all of their kitchens. And it's kind of mind-blowing to think like I'm in 10,000 kitchens that's reading and watching and hopefully buying a book. And, it's I still struggle to wrap my head around it. But don't you do that too? You're in the radio. And like people go, we hear you.
Radio is easy. You do the audio-visual thing, and then you've added the challenge of writing a book. And what was that process like? Because it's one thing having a camera in front of you and speaking to 10,000 people.
Yeah.
But it's quite another when you actually have to transcribe it and measure things and make sure that everything comes out okay.
For me, it was, when I say like it was seeing a whole different side of the way a different industry works. The one thing that always excites me is seeing how things are made, how things work, the behind the scenes. But I never thought I would learn so much from writing a book, because you can't write in the book just hoy salt.
Yeah.
You need to know exactly how much
Yeah.
salt. So I think it was a little bit of a cathartic process, but it was the best learning I could do, because I couldn't just go a sprinkle, chili. I just like hoy in a little bit extra garlic. And in the video you could do that.
Yeah.
But on a book, I mean, people are going to be having these recipes forever. What are they going to go? Today's hoy is tomorrow something else, So it was also about learning how to quantify things properly, but a whole different process. I have I think a very new appreciation for books now.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
How many recipes do you have in the book? Do you remember?
About 80.
So how do you choose that those are the 80 dishes you're going to be showcasing?
No, these publishers, nah. These publishers, they'll say, Fehmz, it's your book, but you can only have this many recipes. Or like my publisher will come to me and she'll be like, the story is too long because the recipe is short. You can't have 2 pages of why the recipe came and the recipe is only a page long. It was very much I would say, let's say the nicest word we can say, a conversation of yeses and nos, like this recipe, that recipe. A big thing with mine, because the reason why I would say slightly less recipes than traditionally the same size book, is because I wanted pictures.
Yeah.
I wanted the visual with every recipe, and that was one of my... That's a no-go area. You have to do it. We have to have a picture for every recipe. And I didn't actually realize that publishers said, but we don't generally do pictures for every single one.
Yeah.
I just thought it was supposed to be the norm. But I'm a visual person.
And talking about the visual aspect of it, it's color.
Yes.
From the cover to each of the recipes, even some of the printing, it's just, it's a pop of color.
Yeah.
Why is color important to you?
For a long time in my life, I tried to disappear. And I tried to disappear because I wasn't enough for my society. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to cry, but I went through a lot of self-doubt. And I think I got to a point where if society wasn't going to accept me, I was just going to embrace life. And me embracing life, they say it's like stick it to the man.
Yeah.
Me embracing life is embracing color and everything that I love, because I got tired of trying to change myself to fit into what everybody else felt was acceptable. But this is how I love life, with more color, with as loud as I can be, as everything else. And I think when I finally let go of, I'm never going to fit into that changed things. And I wanted, when I did a book, or even when I do my videos and I do all of that stuff, I wanted that always to come across. And the biggest thing for me when I did the book was that I needed a publisher who would understand that the book needed to be a reflection of who I am, and it needed to be as relatable to the people who supported me and who also cheer for me in this crazy, colorful way. Funny enough, when you say the text and the pages are colorful as well, when they do the book and they show you all the pages, this is the recipe, it was all white. And all the pictures were obviously very colorful. And my husband and I looked at it and I was like, I don't like this. I really don't like it. And he went, what do you want? And my husband and I sat that night till midnight, and we literally were just picking colors and dropping it. Like how you do it in paint? And we changed the color and the text on a bunch of it, and we sent it back. And then Lindy was like, wait, there's too much color. And we got to this happy medium. And I can't tell you how happy I am that so many pages, not the pictures, the pages are in color,
Well,
it was very fun.
As a person who's read the book, who is eagerly awaiting to try some of the recipes, I'm so happy you found color, because
Thank you.
The book is just joy. It is, and for me, food is that. Food is about bringing family together around a central part in the home and literally playing with flavors and textures and tastes, and everybody having a jaw and having a laugh.
I want people to realize that making a meal for somebody can be fun. It doesn't have to be tedious. Sometimes you come home from work, you're exhausted, you're irritated, the kids are irritating you, and I always go, don't ever go into the kitchen when you're in that mood.
Yeah.
Take your 5 minutes, put the music on, or go and scream, or go and have a shower, do something. But when you get into that kitchen, smile, because what you cook when they eat it, they feel it.
That's true.
Around your table, the conversation
is true.
changes. When you cook with all of that like joy and happiness, and all of a sudden, I don't know whether it's like something weird, but they say it's the energy you put into your food.
Yeah.
It comes into the people who are
Yeah.
eating it.
Yeah.
You know?
One of the best club sandwiches I've ever enjoyed from a restaurant came from me sitting on a counter, close enough to the kitchen, and hearing those ladies singing.
Really?
I'm not sure what they did,
Yeah.
but it was just, I can remember it. It was 12 years ago. And I can remember how tasty that club sandwich was, simply because it was surrounded and almost overwhelmed by
Yes.
music in many
And
ways.
love.
No, absolutely. You spoke about the importance of a publisher. We're marking 50 years of
Yes.
Jonathan Ball, of course. And what I've always appreciated from Jonathan Ball, through interviewing authors, is how empowering they are as a publisher. I imagine you found the same experience?
Yes. There were two things. One thing I knew is that if I was going to do a book, I wasn't just going to do it myself. I wanted to go to a publisher because they have the experience and everything behind them. But I needed to find the right fit. And with Jonathan Ball, I found a team that just fit me. They understood me. And that was so important, because they don't just help guide you. You learn so much from them. But I think if I had, I don't think there's anything wrong with people who self-publish. I knew for me personally, it wasn't a place that I could do. The guidance and experience you get from a team that really knows what they're doing, you can't even quantify it. You can't
And
in
it
any
frees
way.
you up to focus on the recipes and the
Absolutely.
cooking and the
They
things
made
that
me
you
feel
find
comfortable.
joyful.
I didn't have to worry about anything else. I
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about who's printing it. What's the quality of the print? Do I see the sample? Like, my publisher did everything. Lindy would only send me the book when she was happy.
Yeah.
The paper, the everything.
Yeah.
Which means it's gone through that process already, And
Yeah.
it really does help. And sometimes it is like because you're like, I want this and I want that. But there comes a part where you have to understand the experience of someone.
Yeah.
And what I love is they give you the leeway to say it, to speak your words, to speak how you feel. I remember one or two pictures in the beginning I was a little bit unhappy with, but I didn't know how to articulate. Like, I have a big mouth, but I'm very much also a people pleaser. So I feel bad to go like, oh, that picture's no. And through those first few pictures, Lindy could read between the lines, and she went, Fehmz, she would message me privately and say, Fehmz, it's okay to say you don't like the picture. And I went, Lindy, I really don't like the picture, And they'd put ghee in plastic Tupperwares, and I'm going to say, no go for me.
Yeah.
And they were so open. We'll reshoot, no problem. So there's some things they were very, I want to say it was very easy. The process is easy when you have a team that gives you that creative freedom, but also knows how to rein you in. Because sometimes you don't want somebody to just stop you.
Yeah.
They need to give it to you. They know how to do it,
Final question.
Yes.
What's the secret to a good curry?
Sure. Don't be afraid to cook it a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. Pinch of sugar with tomato because it balances acidity. But just give it the time to cook. And stop this oil thing, ghee.
Fehmz, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Damn Good Food is a wonderful, wonderful book. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best with it. And I
Thank
can't
you
wait
very
for your next one.
Oh, no. Yeah.